it was the Christmas. It was New Year's. It was a whole thing. I didn't mean to disappear on y'all like that, but I'm back now. Deep apologies for that, but hey, it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas, holiday season, and New Year's. I most certainly did. And I'll be getting into that, giving you an update, talking about some stuff. But also, so in this video, and for those of you who don't like anime, don't leave yet. I'm gonna be doing an update, sort of like where I've been at, what I've been thinking, everything going on, health, all that stuff, holidays and how that went. But then I'm also going to do like my first official One Piece video, because when I told you guys that I was watching One Piece, I lied, and then I actually started watching One Piece. Now I'm about 50 episodes in. I've been watching it with a friend on Discord, and I'm not gonna say I'm locked in yet. I'm like, mark my words now. When I make it to 300 episodes, that's when I'm fully gonna be locked in. Because people have told me like 300 episodes is really where it gets good, or someone says 80 episodes really gets good. I'll say once I've gotten through not even, I think it's like a fourth of the anime size. Once I've gotten 25% into it, because I think it's like 1,300 episodes or something like that, then I will be fully locked in to finish it. But by then I'll have made enough One Piece content that I think you guys will be tired of me here talking about it. I hope I don't alienate any of my other viewers. I am going to be doing movie reviews and things like that. I was actually, I'm not going to spoil the idea for that, for a type of video I want to release, but I'm going to have more content released soon. And I'm not lying this time, I am. So, let's get on with it. I'm going to be getting into basically how my Christmas was. So, Christmas, it was good. So I'll say that for Christmas Eve, I didn't do anything. Me and my dad just kind of chill. He doesn't go if he goes and does something, that's cool, but in my current state, I don't go out and do anything. I just hang out in Discord like a degenerate. And for Christmas Day, my brother invited us over for his wife's family. Hosted Christmas, basically. Yeah. So we get there, and we pull up, we walk in, everyone greets. Everyone greets, and they have a platter out where it's basically lettuce, and then they have the Colby Jack cheese and sliced ham, deli meat ham. And so I get a few. I make myself these little wraps. Lettuce wrapped in ham and the cheese in the middle. And then folded up like a taco. Lettuce, ham, cheese, and then fold it. If that makes sense. And then I was just eating those. I had a couple of those. I had some coffee. And everything was chill. And then my brother, which I'm not Christian, but pretty much everyone in my life that is a family member that isn't me is Christian, almost, like that I hang out with regularly. And, or when I say regularly, I mean like for holidays and stuff like that, when I go visit my mom and all that. So my brother was like, since the whole family's gonna be here, let me get baptized. They got a pool, like one of those, not an actual pool, but like it's one of those like small tops that like one of those small outdoor pools that you can control the temperature. Like apparently you can heat it up. It looks like those things that people take ice baths in. If you've ever seen those, not ice baths, but like cold plunges is what I mean. It looks like one of those. But so we go outside, so we hang out for a bit, talk and can chat for a bit. We go outside, and for those of you that don't know, I live in Georgia, in the South of the U.S. So there's a lot of, like, I don't know what the most common denomination is, but I grew up a lot around Baptists. And I don't want to get into like any of that type of stuff, but basically all I'm saying is that I've witnessed a lot of baptisms. So they do the whole baptism thing. And, which my brother's father-in-law gives the baptism, baptizes him. Like, goes. And then they all record it. I know they're gonna post it all on Facebook. I saw a little bit on Facebook. I got tagged in it and stuff. And even though I'm off to the side and I'm in none of the footage. And I mean, that was cool. I respect his, like, you know, what he believes and everything. And so he goes, and so we go back in, and then we play. Well, I don't play it, but then him and his brother-in-law play this board game called Stratego. I don't really know how to explain it. Imagine Battleship, and instead of you trying to like figure out where their pieces are, you see them on the other end of the board, but you don't know what their pieces are. And basically it's all number based. So like a 2, I don't know the actual rules, but let's say like a 3 attacks a 4, the 3 dies, but then a 4 attacks a 3, and the 3 dies. But if a 3 attacks a 2, the 2 dies. Or if a 4 and a 4 attack each other, then if a 4 attacks another 4, the 4 dies. Because the 4 that attacked it, like basically attacked it. I don't know all of the rules, but you're basically trying to see where the other person's flag is, and then you can set up bombs, and you can move the pieces around. It kind of operates a little bit like chess, like you're trying to catch them. But I relate it to Battleship in the sense that you don't know like what the pieces are that they have. So it's a bit of a guessing game, while also like strategy is in it, and it's pieces on a board. It's interesting to watch. I don't really like, you know, I don't really like board games because I'm like terrible at them and I lose. So I just watch. So they played that for a while, and then they were getting dinner ready. Well, they were getting dinner ready. I guess they were all playing this board game. 4 or 5 o'clock rolls around. I think we got there at like 2. And they play. Or not that they play, but we start eating. You know, they pray and do that So it wasn't like a traditional Christmas dinner, which I'm thankful for. Did pasta. That you guys know I love pasta. It was like this chicken Alfredo with angel hair pasta. It was really good. They also had lasagna. I love lasagna. But I like the Alfredo a bit better than the lasagna, but I had both of those, and a salad. They also had some salad, and I made sure to have some salad. They tried to give me wine. I'm convinced I'm not a wine person. I've had there's just been too many times. It's been 6 times where people are like, try this wine. This wine is better than most wine. It isn't. And everyone asks you the same question. When they ask you, do you like wine? Dry or sweet? And I'm like, they're both bad. They both taste like sour grapes. I don't like them. I like rotten grapes. Wine people, you're gonna have to wine people, you're gonna have to let me know your recommendations, because I think they're all garbage basically. I haven't had a good one. I've had some tolerable ones, but nothing I can get drunk off of. That's not their motivation for drinking wine. But if it's an alcohol that you can get drunk off, that means it's good, that it's easy to sip. That's not always the case, but people like cocktails because you can sip on them. But if you have 4 or 5 cocktails, you're gonna be drunk. If you have, it's like stuff like that. Someone's probably gonna just say, just drink cocktails, bro. I have whiskey that I like. I have Fireball, which Fireball was my choice of drink for the holidays, and I still have some left over, and I'm gonna drink it for this weekend in celebration of my birthday. Which, by the way, guys, my birthday is on the 13th. I want to do a live stream. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, depending on my sleep schedule and the things I have going on. But if I'm able to, look out for it, because I would announce it a couple days before, and I'll plan for it and try and get it into it. It also might be spontaneous, so just January 13th, look out for it. I have a doctor's appointment that day, so I would probably have to do it before the doctor's appointment, because I don't think I'd be able to do it after. Because as soon as I get back from the doctor's appointment, I'm thinking I might be doing something. I might be hanging out in Discord. I don't know. Who knows? But it doesn't really matter either way. It's not like I have much to do, but yeah. So but I would like to stream that day, and just say hi to you guys and whatnot, or do an AMA or something like that. But yeah, I have a little bit of Fireball left. That's been my choice of drink for this weekend. And that's a very sweet whiskey. It still has a lot of kickback, but you really don't feel it after a few shots. Really don't feel it. So then I get almost full off dinner, and they're like, bro, you gotta get dessert. Well, my brother says, dude, you gotta get the cinnamon buns. It was all made cinnamon buns, and it was good. Really good. Super enjoyed it. And I also had, what else was there? They also had fresh bread. Homemade fresh bread. Garlic bread. It was insanely good. I'm almost mad that I got full on the other stuff. So it was really good. And so we had all of that. And then after that, it was just conversation for the rest of the night. We chatted and chatted. There was a little mini religious discussion that that I wasn't too fond of between my dad and my brother's father-in-law, because they get along well. But I often feel with that side of the family, if I ever state my opinion, that it'd be a bloodbath. So when that comes up, I just keep my mouth shut and like zone out and think about other things. And then when the conversation turns, then I zone back in to be polite, you know. So I can't remember much after what we did after that. It was really just a chill night. Then I went home. And for New Year, I don't even think I saw my dad on New Year. I think I was just holed up in my room. And he was held up in his room watching stuff. Probably watching like a game or something. Or like sci-fi movie, TV show. And then I was on Discord, chatting with friends, getting mind-numbingly drunk. Not really, but I was getting drunk. And I used to do this thing where I didn't know how to control myself. It must be what everyone goes through when they're like 16 and they do house parties. They get really wasted, have a bad night. By the time they get to college, they know how to praise themselves. Now I'm in that college stage. I know how to pace myself. And I know how to get myself into a really good drunk state. Stop drinking. Go straight to bed without throwing up. I'm not drinking any water. And I'll wake up with no hangover. Throughout the entire holiday season. I got drunk, I want to say 3 times. Yeah, it was either 2 or 3 times. No, it had to be 3 times because I bought 2 bottles of Fireball and I can go through. This makes me look like a drunk. This makes me look like an alcoholic. There's like a ball of Fireball that's like this big. I can go through half of it in one night and then half of it in another night. So I definitely got drunk 3 times because I finished 1 bottle and then I did half a bottle. So now I have like a half or a quarter of a bottle left. So I got drunk like 3 times. No hangover. I don't know how much water I was drinking. Probably less than 64 ounces per day. I definitely was dehydrated. Not healthy for my liver. Or my kidneys. Or any other organ in my body. But I didn't have a hangover though. So New Year's was pretty good. Christmas was pretty good. Everything leading up to that was pretty solid. And ironically enough, I have a fucking doctor's appointment on my birthday. But I didn't want to space it out because 1, I'm not going to do anything for my birthday anyway. 2, I need the medicine they give because I don't want to make it a longer point of time between when I get the medicine and when I, whatever. So I had to make, and it's like, I noticed the date, but I was like, yeah, it's whatever. I'll go in there and they're all going to say, what's your birthday? Because they have to check my birthday every single time. I'm going to have to say my birthday like 3 times when I'm there. And I'm going to say January 13th. And then I'm not going to say the year I was born, but you guys can do the math. And I have to say that every time, and I have to say my full name. And they're like, and they have to repeat it back to someone who has to verify it, who has to verify that they're giving me the right medicine. And it's going to be, I'm going to see if they don't notice. Because by the 3rd time they say it, they should notice, and they'll go, oh, happy birthday. And it'll be a whole thing, happy birthday. pretty good. Besides the alcohol, I've been doing pretty solid. This new year, I'm doing it. I don't like what weight I am right now. I'm gonna start a weight loss arc. I'm gonna wait until I'm out of alcohol to do it, because then I'm gonna actually be able to fully abstain from all of my vices. And then I'm just gonna tell my dad, hey, when you go to the store, I'm only gonna eat these things. So if you pick up more stuff this next time that you go to the store, it's not gonna get eaten. I'm only gonna be eating like this, and this, like the proteins and the veggies. So I would recommend you don't waste your money, unless if you buy it, I'm gonna assume you want to eat it. I'll do that whole spiel, and then I'm gonna be walking around, and you guys are probably like, why don't you just not eat it? I have no self-control, but I'm gonna train self-control this year. I'm gonna retrain it back in my mind. Just self-control, and then I can walk around my neighborhood. I got into Beat Saber because I've been playing it with a friend. That shit is a workout. Whenever I'm done playing Beat Saber, I'm always sweating a lot. And I feel like all I want to do is sit down. It's really taxing, but in a really fun and addicting way. Which you may see, that's my VR headset. Right there. The Quest 2. I had to buy a new head strap for it, because the old head strap broke. I fucking wore it out. It was already getting to that point where it was old. I bought my VR headset back during like COVID, or like a little slightly after COVID. I think it was 2021 that I bought it. And it's literally, the strap just broke, so bought a new head strap for it, like a $20 one. And it'll be good. Hopefully I play more. Like, it's helpful when I'm doing anything VR chat and all of that. Obviously, like, that strap's good. It doesn't fit my head all of the way, which is kind of comical and hilarious. But it's comfortable enough, I will say. It does the job what I need it to do. I just have too much cranium, that's all. Anyways, so I'm trying to think of anything else I can ramble about. I've watched a few Christmas movies. Guys, I finally watched Elf. I know it's far after the Christmas season, but if you want me to review Elf, I also watched Red One, which is the Dwayne Johnson, The Rock movie with, what's the dude's name? It's another famous actor. God, I'm gonna kill. I don't know. I don't remember his name. I actually barely remember his face. It's two famous action movie actors with The Rock and someone else. I don't remember who the other main guy is. Yeah, I don't remember. Someone's gonna comment it and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that guy. But yeah, so I watched those movies. Elf. I watched the Santa Claus. I mean, I've seen the Santa Claus movies before with Tim Allen in them, which is good. They're good. I've revamped my opinion. The second is the best one, and then it goes to the first one, and then the third one should be erased from memory. It is not a good movie, but it's entertaining still. Maybe I have the nostalgia from it, but it's just like, it's not great. It's not bad, but it's just not great. You guys have been, so I remember a few movie recommendations. Someone said Gladiator 2. That I'm gonna do. Den of Thieves I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch one. Then I'll watch Den of Thieves 2. Horror movies, guys. And okay, don't recommend this. Don't recommend Wrong Turn. Don't recommend The Grudge. Oh, not The Grudge. Don't recommend The Ring. Wait, no. It is The Grudge. Yeah, don't recommend The Grudge. Don't recommend, if you're gonna recommend me horror films, recommend me good ones, please. Like, either actually straight up scary and eerie, or unhinged, really funny horror, like The Visit, you could even be something like Unfriended or Spree. Like, recommend something that's either going to be unhinged and funny, but don't like it, or make it really like kind of bone chilling or scary, like something that's act like The Conjuring or something like that. You know, not something that's just like boring until the last 20 minutes, like Hereditary, or something that's mildly kind of interestingly scary, but it's not like in your face scary, like Sinister. Don't recommend stuff like that. Like, I'm kind of trying to give you a guide for my horror movie recommendations. Give me some good recommendations. Because there are just someone recommended Wrong Turn. Don't like those. So I know a lot of you out of one of my viewers, Spencer Timothy. Love you, bro. He said watch Hereditary, and then, you know, I don't want to like bring up old drama, but I didn't really care for it that much. I did like it at the end, but getting there is a bit of whatever. A lot of people said they liked that movie, and they said they thought it was scary, which I don't like particularly understand. But you like what you like. I hope. Like, okay, it's not really a horror movie. It's more of like a psychological thriller. But have you ever seen them? If you've seen the movie Trap, it came out last year. It's a good movie. I gave it a 3 or a 3.5. But if it's something like that, that's okay. Like, Long Legs was good, but it's not scary. Long Legs was like good film, not scary. The Visit is like unhinged and funny. It has some eerie parts. It's not that scary. But yeah. Anyways. So. Those are please give me those recommendations. Also, if you like action, sci-fi. I love action, sci-fi. Horror, action, sci-fi. Favorite films. Like, those are my favorite type of films. Transformers are my favorite film. That has to be my favorite film franchise. The Michael Bay ones have to be my favorite film franchise. But I only claim that for the first 3. I do not claim that for the last 2. And then the Bumblebee one is okay. And then the most recent one is like Rise of the Beasts is like, it's good, but it's bordering like not good, kind of whatever, right? So I don't know, guys. Recommend me movies. I always link my letterbox if you're a film nerd. You know, you wanna follow me on Letterboxd, follow me. I'll be able to see all the movies you guys watch. I'll be able to get new recommendations. I do check my letterbox frequently, and I always, whenever I watch movies, if I haven't seen it before, or if I don't remember, if it's a movie I've seen before but that I've seen recently, like, I'll put it on there, and I'll leave a review if I either really like it or really dislike it. That's the only time I ever leave a review. If you see a review for a movie and it's on my letterbox, I either extremely like it or extremely hate it. Like, Antoine Fisher was the only film that I watched last year, and I had to have watched over 100 films. It's not impressive to some people, but I had to have watched at least maybe like at minimum 60 movies last year, and at the maximum probably 120 movies last year. I had to have seen that many movies, and I don't remember all of them that I've seen. That's why I started the letterbox, and I didn't add to them as I was watching them, but because I remember watching, like, some of them I had already seen before, but in total, I remember torrenting about 40 movies, and then I remember watching, like, movies every day, for about 4 or 5 movies every day, and I did that for 3 months straight, and I did that every day, except for maybe 1 or 2 days, like, excluding those 1 or 2 days, and I did that from May till about, like, mid-August. So that if you count, if I just do the math there, that's already like over 100 movies. You know what I mean? So that's how I know that it's over 100. But Antoine Fisher was one of the movies that I watched, I was locked in. I felt all the emotions. I can't find a fault in that movie. It had me attached the entire time. Movies like that are dramatic typically lose me in 30 minutes. And maybe I have an attention deficit. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. But those types of movies, if it doesn't lock me within the first 40 minutes, I'm already checked out mentally. Antoine Fisher did not do that. It's my older film. And I really see why people say Denzel's like, use the coat. Because he wrote the film. I think he directed it. And it is actually based on like a true story, which is really cool. But then, like the way he acts in it, and the way every scene, you're like, damn, you feel an emotion. Not every scene you feel an emotion, but I felt really connected to it. So. And it's not because I'm anything like him, but I don't know. I had super locked in. Loved it a lot. Anyways, now for all my anime fans, the moment you've been waiting for and as a good anime enjoyer, I teased you guys for like 30 something minutes before I'm actually getting to the content that you probably really want me to talk about. So I teased that in the beginning so that you would watch all the way up until now. So I have been watching One Piece. Now we started from a point where I'd already watched up to, but I don't remember all the details about the beginning. But I remember that he was in a barrel. Bro was just gonna be floating in a barrel. He got picked up by Marines. He met Kobe, that whole thing, like blah blah. You know what I mean? And you could even say, well, he wasn't picked up by Marines. He was on the pirate ship of the lady, Alvida, I think is her name. And Kobe was like the guy who mopped the decks, and he wanted to become a Marine. But then like the Marines attacked her or some shit. Someone correct me on the details, but I kind of vaguely remember that whole situation. I probably butchered it all, and you guys are so upset at me, but sorry. This is what you waited for, okay? Deal with it. So then they go through, and what I really like about One Piece is how they set up everyone's individual backstory. And I know that, so I don't know if I think we've met all the first of the like original crew. I don't know if people get added later on, or if there's like things that happen. That like, hold on a second. Excuse me. So I don't know if there's things that like happen later on where people get added or whatever, but we have currently in the crew, we have, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, and Usopp. So Usopp's island, out of everyone's like backstory, I'd have to say that I enjoyed Usopp's the least so far. And that's only because like he's kind of, so my thing, what I've realized is that if you've heard me talk about Demon Slayer, slight tangent, I promise, slight tangent. If you've ever heard me talk about Demon Slayer, the thing that I always bring up is that I hate Zenitsu. I hate him. He's like a whiny, he's like a whiny bitch, crying coward. Usopp is a similar version of that. It's a trope in anime, right? I may just not like that archetype of character because his entire backstory, the fact that he's lying to everyone in the village, I forget what he lied about, but he lied about something. That's like the joke about in the show. There's that guy that comes on to the island and he tries to do something, and Luffy kicks his ass, whatever. He leaves the island because he wants to be brave. His whole dream is to become like a brave, what did he say? Like a brave adventurer of the sea. Something like that, because he really admires his dad, because his dad is like that. Or I think he might have been lying about him being his dad. Something like that. It was really a lame lie, like he was being more brave than he was, or whatever, than he actually is. leave the island. And then they're like, oh yeah, we don't want to get like scurvy, so let's like stop at this restaurant. And so they stop at the restaurant. And that's like where Sanji, you meet Sanji at, because Sanji's a cook. And you learn his whole backstory. I was connected to his backstory. Being a guy, I like to cook, obviously. And I've been cooking since I was like 11. And I really enjoyed the fact that the reason that he enjoys to always feed everybody, no matter who the person is, because a hungry person is a customer, is that the reason he's still alive is because the person who started the restaurant saved him from a shipwreck. Lost his leg to do it. Lost a part of his leg to do it. To save him. And then gave him the only food that was meant to be rationed out for 5 days. Gave him the only food. I told him, like, hey, you're not going to have any sympathy for me. But he did it out of kindness. Because there's a big bag, and you're thinking, easy, have a big bag of food. But it's all treasure. And he tricked him into thinking that he had a lesser amount of food. And he was being mean to him. But it was to help him survive. And the guy was just living off of sheer pure will. He was like a skeleton. And so they had to come and get rescued. And once they got rescued, they decided to build a restaurant. And so from then on, they both decided, like, anyone who's hungry is to be fed, because, well, I think it's Sanji's ideology more so. And he just wants to feed everybody, because a hungry person's a customer, because he like respects food so much more now being lost at sea. Which then being lost at sea is kind of like why they created a restaurant in the middle of the ocean, is because anyone who got lost at sea would find the restaurant. I'm assuming. I don't think they tell you. Because, I mean, I just passed that part like 30 episodes ago. And I don't remember them mentioning that. Like, they never mentioned why. I just assumed. So, that I connected with a lot. And then Nami's backstory, bro. Oh my god. The fact that she has to, like, buy her village, or buy her, like, is it Kokoyashi village, or Kokoyashi island? The fact that she was trying to buy that, to buy everyone's freedom. And, like, what's crazy is Nami, and I mean, I guess they're all orphans. Now that I think about it, is Bro the only one with a dad? Usopp has a dad. Sanji's parents never get mentioned. Nami's parents don't get mentioned because they grew up in war. Are they all orphans? Did I realize something? Luffy, his parents are never mentioned. You only know about the red hair guy. Is his name Shanks? Is that his name? That's not his dad. That's just a guy that he admires. Like, kind of like quarter raised, like half raised him or whatever. Gave him the straw hat. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess they're all orphans, but Nami got saved by a war veteran. Nami and her Nojikita. I forget her name. Starts with that. Nami and something. Both get saved by this woman who's on the brink of death. In a war, she brings them home, feeds them, clothes them, raises them to be wonderful people. And then, as soon as Arlong, who is like this fishman guy, he comes and he's gonna like subjugate the entire village because he wants to build his empire or whatever. And so he subjugates the village or the island. I guess it's an island, but it's also a village. I don't know. It's an island. Bro subjugates the entire island. Taxes them a shit ton of money a month. Berries a month. And then kills. Like, he gets there, that's his plan. Nami's adopted mother dies. So Nami makes a deal with Arlong that after she's saved up 100 million berries, that's going to buy the freedom of the village. Because then she'll own it, and then they'll buy him out of it. Well, bro decides to get out of that deal. Because apparently, Arlong is one of these 7 fishmen that are just, or not 7 fishmen, excuse me. These 7 people. They're 7 strong, really strong ass people in One Piece. I forget what they're called. You can please correct me in the comments. But there's like 7 really strong people, and he's one of them. They are all given amnesty. I guess it would be like amnesty or like exemptions from the government to do pirate work because they can't handle them. But what they do is they take the bounty. So whatever the pirates plunder, as far as money, they tax it. The government tax it. It allows them to operate freely there as long as they get a cut. So he contacts the Marines or the Navy or whatever to steal Nami's money. So they steal Nami's money. That was going to be used to pay for well, they try to. And that's what brings out the whole fight. And that's the arc that I just got past. And that's like up until episode 50. And I forget what they're doing, where I'm currently at. But I think I'm at episode like 50 or 51 or something like that. I might be at 49, 50 or 51, something like that. They just left. Oh, no, I remember where I'm at. So they left there. This is so schizophrenic. But if you guys haven't noticed by now, all my rambles are schizophrenic. I remember details later that I didn't explain before and all that shit. So, basically what happens is they defeat Arlong and all of his guys. They have their freedom from Arlong. Luffy is like... Luffy wasn't even there for most of the fight. He was trapped underwater because he's a dumbass and got his feet stuck in concrete, and then he got thrown into the bottom of the ocean, and bro can't swim because people who eat the gum or people that eat devil fruit are hated by the sea. So the sea puts a curse on them that makes them drown, or that more so that because they eat the fruit, it fundamentally changes their body in ways that they don't have any buoyancy, so that they just sink and die. Something like that. So, let me think about this. Oh yeah, Arlong gets defeated, or whatever. And it's a really sweet moment because like Nami's like a thief, right? She's a pickpocketer. But she's a really good navigator and she wants to create a map of the world and everything. So Nami, they defeat Arlong. Nami runs through all of the villagers and then gets onto the boat. She told them to like leave without her, but she jumps onto the boat at the last second. And then they're like, okay, you're not gonna say goodbye to anybody. She lifts up her shirt. All of the wallets passed from all the people she pickpocketed on her way out. That's all of her friends and family. Like, basically her family of the village. Like, she didn't have an official family, but like her, like not a blood family, but like the family she created, right? They're all yelling at her, hey, you go, Brad, I'm glad you're gone. Like, it's a really sweet moment. Because the whole thing is that she's like the brat of the village, you know? Where I'm at is they go from there to, I think this place, I don't want to say the name. It starts with L. I can't remember. They go to this place that's basically where the pirate king got executed. And that's the part that I'm at. And I think where I left off at there is everyone, Luffy is fighting with that one marine guy who's also a devil fruit eater. And it is Smoker, I think his name is. And so they're trying to get onto the boat to leave that island because they're trying to keep them. The pirates are trying to leave and the Marines are trying to stop them. And, that's what's happening where I'm currently at. Luffy, Zoro just defeated the person he defeated, like the girl. That reminded him of his previous. I didn't even explain Zoro's backstory. Zoro was in competition with a chick from his hometown. She was like the daughter of the chief of the village, or like the swordsman or whatever, the top swordsman. He also learned from her, but she was better than him at being a swordsman. But she was upset because she could never be a swordsman because she's a woman. And then Zoro's like, you shouldn't be pissed off at that. I'm speed running this. I'm sorry because I'm running out of time. And he's like pissed off at that because he's like, you should respect your skill no matter what your gender is, because even if like you're better than me, so if you're saying like it doesn't matter, then how does that make me feel? Like you should. It's almost like disrespectful. Like, you know, like if someone beats you and they're like, man, I wish I was in your position because I would be able to be what I could be. It's like they're kind of like they're self-deprecating themselves even though they're better. Like they should respect the skill that they have, because then that like is showing honor to the opponent that you beat or whatever. I forget. You understand what I'm saying. And so what ends up happening, spoiler, that girl dies because she slipped and fell, I guess, and died. And then he gets really crushed by that and works his ass off because now he wants to be the best he always wanted to be the best swordsman in the world, but he had a crushing loss of a woman he really liked that pushed him to his limit that he couldn't defeat. And she never got the opportunity to try to become the best. Even though it didn't matter that she was a woman, like, you know, even though it could have not mattered that she was a woman, or it did matter that she was a woman, or it didn't matter because she was a woman, like, she didn't even get the opportunity because she just died. And so he just, that crushed him, so he's goated. And I didn't explain where they picked up Zoro from, but you guys who are anime fans, you guys know that. And listen, I've already spoiled so much of what's happening in the arcs I'm watching, it doesn't matter. I actually don't even know if I'm explaining enough or explaining well enough that I am spoiling. Who knows? But anyways, so that's what happens with Zoro. That's his like backstory, which I really fucked with a lot. I'm between Zoro and Sanji for someone who like I really fuck with, like someone like Zoro. It's like he's striving to be the best, and he's trying to do something that's like he's really good at, but it's also like really hard. He's running into a lot of obstacles, at least in the arc that I'm now at, and he has to show that growth. I'm relate to that, but also I like to cook, and like I'm not a simp like Sanji is, but I respect his bravado. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a lot of that, but I respect his bravado and his forwardness. I find it very comical and hilarious in the show. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. That's where I'm at with One Piece. I will continue to watch and make more videos. JW, this shout outs to you, my brother. I think you have been waiting like over 3 months for a One Piece video. It could be longer than that. But finally, I have made one, and I will make more One Piece videos and content. I'll be trying to make, as I'm watching, I'll remember to make notes of like certain things I find interesting and like what episode they're in and what arc I'm in, and like I'll try to make it more detailed so that way you guys can actually enjoy. If you're nerding out about One Piece and wanting me to talk about it, because I've been getting so many requests to watch One Piece. Over the course of me being a ASMR creator that has also talked about anime and TV shows and whatnot, but I like that I have a variety of people who, you're going to recommend me TV shows, you're going to recommend me movies, and then I do anime. There's a variety there, and I enjoy that because I like doing, I like having variety with my content in terms of like rotating the things I talk about. But I am going to start doing different kinds of content that I've been thinking about doing, but otherwise too scared to do because of quality output reasons. But I'm going to work it out. I'm going to try and get some stuff out there for you. I'm just going to upload this straight up today. So this is going to come out, if I can get it edited well enough and no issues, it should be coming out today on the 7th. So counting down, that's what, 6 days until my birthday. Yeah, so 3 and then 3, yeah, so like 6 days until my birthday. So not, if you feel like blessing, if you feel like sending a blessing, go for it, but don't feel obligated. But anything that would go towards the channel is deeply appreciated. I'm thinking about picking up a new mic as well, because I feel like this is on the fritz. I may do my next video as a soft spoken ramble. That would be pretty cool. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoy you guys sticking around, even though I haven't made much content recently. And I hope you guys are doing really well. You enjoyed your holiday season, and stay tuned for more content to come. So yeah, you guys have a good one. Thank you, and good night.